Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lois and welcome back to Age of Engineering. In the last episode, we were working on empowering some stuff for our drill. We ended up making the drill Silk Touch Augment, which required empowered emeradic crystals and diamantine crystals and all sorts of stuff. It took a while to do all that, and then, well, we really haven't done much. We started moving, IC2 over, Industrial Craft over, and I also worked on building another building. This is going to be for actually additions. Once we get more stuff set up and all that kind of fun stuff, it's gonna take some time. It really is. And one of the biggest kind of setbacks right now is power. This guy, while good, is not that great when you don't have a steady supply of potatoes giving you ethanol. So what we're going to do is we're going to augment our power a little bit today by making some solar panels, and hopefully that will help just kind of give us a little bit of trickle power, and then we'll kind of go from there. So that is the plan, at least. As you can see, I've done a little bit of work just kind of planning out the area and whatnot. Now what we're also going to be working on today is we're going to be working on getting the IC2 set up just a little bit more, and we're going to continue working on getting the empower with the drill. There's a couple other things that we're going to need, and one thing that I've noticed about the drill, it runs through power very quickly. So we're going to want a battery eventually, and we're also going to want more storage space. So lots of things, but nothing too difficult. I also want to look at a couple other things, like the void resource and void ore miner. Reverse those as I look at them on the screen, but you get the idea. So first things first, let's go ahead and make the Inori crystals empowered. So I went and I found a gas tier. I only got one. I killed like 2 or 3 gas. It took me a while. It was not fun, but finally got it, and this should start working. We'll get the Inori crystals. Still need lithium for the diamantine, which means we need to set up this guy. Now, at this point, we are going to be using better everything if we can. So I want to make a good bit of diamond dust. 5 should be good, so that we can make glass fiber cable. We need 4, or we need 8. Let's do 8. So what's the best way to get diamond dust? Well, we can crush up diamond ore for 2. Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. So let's do that. So that will crush up and give us some diamond dust, and then we can use that to make the energium dust, which will allow us to make glass fiber cable. Quite a bit of it too. And the reason I want to use glass fiber cable is it is the best cable for industrial craft. This stuff will transfer pretty much however much power you want to give it, and that's the idea. So we need a little bit of silver. Let's get like 4. Can I manage 4? 4 is 24. Yes, I can. We'll crush that up, and then we need some redstone, and should be pretty straightforward. I need 1 more piece of redstone. I am almost out of redstone, so I'm gonna have to process some of the blocks here soon. I have plenty of redstone ore, so it's not that big of a deal. I just have to process it. So we need the energium dust. We'll get 2 of those, and one of these guys, okay, you're out of power. So we need to get more power going through these guys, which means more work. This is the eternal babysitting of all of the stuff that is really getting annoying in this mod pack. I just don't have a good setup for power at this point, because I've kind of put all my eggs into solar, and solar is really difficult to get. Good solar anyways. So we're going to start working towards that relatively soon as well. It is going to require a lot of octadic capacitors, which requires a lot of capacitors, which requires a lot of empowering. So it's It's a pain. It really is. But we'll get there. And I love that these guys bounce. But for right now, if we can get some more generators going, honestly, even a furnace generator from, what's the mod? Extra Utilities would be decent. It would allow us to get some stuff done pretty quickly, I think. So let's go ahead and get a bunch of slime in here. This will power things up pretty nicely. Generates 144,000 RF in total for each block. And we'll replant those as soon as those all decay, all these leaves. And I'm going to have to move this stuff over eventually, but for right now, it's not that big of a deal. Let's go ahead and try to get some saplings. And I'll come back over here in a second to grab the rest. So, let's see, we need the silver dust, which should be in here. And we should be able to make a bunch of the glass fiber cables. Perfect. So that's going to be enough for right now. We'll get more later and worry about that as the time comes. So here's the thing. We are going to be needing a lot of stuff. With the IC2 area, I've kind of talked about this, how we're going to have, well, I've brought the MFE over. That's a power tier 3. This outputs 512 EU per tick. The electric furnace and most of our machines are power tier 1. They receive at max 32 EU per tick. We also have the, where is it? The centrifuge, which I think is actually right over here. This guy is power tier 2. He can accept up to, I actually don't want that there. I actually want this on top because it'll look cooler. Do I have a wrench or anything? No. Of course not. There we go. Power tier 2 can accept up to 128. That box is pretty much empty, so let's just grab a wrench. We'll take the old wrench. Why not? And we'll just break that. Break the wire, and everything will be good. So what we're going to need to do, and kind of the plan, is we're going to set up all the machines here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Something like this. We're going to have all of our wires here. And then in the corner, we're going to have a transformer. And then what we can do is just run this along like so. And we'll have a transformer for this guy as well. I don't know how many tier 2, tier 2 machines there are. Don't care about anything that's Tech Reborn. The electrolyzer, reactor coolant injector, I don't know what those are used for, so don't think those are going to come up. Thermal centrifuge, induction furnace, electric sorting machine, don't need that. Stirling generator, don't need. So just the electrolyzer, which I don't even know that we'll need. Because there's other ways to get oxygen and hydrogen. I don't think this is ever going to come up as a necessity. So pretty much we're just going to need space for 2 machines. We'll leave space for like 3. And we can put the transformer here. And then more wires going back to the back, and then our generators will be set up like over here. Now obviously we don't have enough power at this point, or rather power lines at this point to kind of set this entire area up. I don't even know how many tier 3 things there are that we need. The mass fabricator and condenser I don't think we'll need. So pretty much just the mass fab, and then we'll have tier 4 as well. And the whole point of this is so that we don't blow up our machines. that would be bad. I don't want to blow up our machines. It's so annoying with industrial craft. So what the plan is going to be is we'll go ahead and get this stuff going. Let's go ahead and harvest our crops, or at least the wheat. And that guy is still working. Not doing too well. We need more slime in there? Oh, what is taking you so long? You are out of power completely. You're out of power completely. And you probably stopped generating. Yep. So let's get some normal slime balls. That will work for now. And we need to get power situated relatively soon, but we'll get there. So what we can do, we need to make a couple transformers. So we can get rid of the tier 3. Tier 4, I know there are a couple things. There is the, let's see, the replicator and the scanner are both tier 4. So those are going to be required to have a lot of stuff, but we'll worry about that later. Let's see, what can we do? We need to make a transformer or two. So LV transformer, this takes 128 and turns into 32. It's pretty easy. It does require a coil though. We have some coils, and we're just gonna scavenge them because we're not gonna be using the blast furnace from IC2 anymore. So there is that. We don't need the bat box anymore, and we'll get this MFE set up soon enough. So this will power all of our machines, and we can start working on industrial craft a little bit better. Now eventually we're going to set up a decent power, we're going to have a nice power generator, and eventually we're going to have a nuclear reactor. That stuff is going to be a little bit of ways, but not that far. So here's the question. Do we have any IC2 stuff back at the base still? We might. Let's go back to the base and see what all we have. As you see, I have a little bit of a path. We're going to bring a path out this direction and go over here. And then we're going to have a path going to the mine and the portal. The bees will probably be moved. I haven't really messed with them at all. The mine is going to look a lot different later. I'm going to make it look nice and all that kind of stuff. So let's see. We don't have too much left here. I do want to go ahead and harvest like all this, and something we could also work on, we could go ahead and do whatever, is this canola press, and actually use this to get both RF and EU. That is a thing we can do. I don't know if it's something we want to do. So do we have any, like, we have rubber here, we have stone dust, fertilizer. None of this stuff is particularly useful to us right now, so we're gonna just leave it here. I really need to just come back and grab all of this stuff eventually, but let's see. Be in here. We have a little bit of tin wire. This guy has a lot of power. We're gonna want that. This guy has a little bit of power. We could probably dump that off into the MFE, and that looks to be about all that's in here. Let's take this with us, and I think, let's see, is there anything else that we're going to want to grab just to have over there more than anything? Let's see, we have a lot of rice. Let's grab that, and oh, I don't know. We have a bunch of this jam. It's not a bad food. What kind of, I don't actually know what it does, so it's a little worrisome, but oh well. Ender pearls. I don't know what to grab. This guy, and grab two more things. Slime sling and a boat. Why not? So I still need to move the rest of the base over, it's gonna take me some time because I've gotta come up with enough storage space and all that kind of stuff to store the items until I have everything up and running like I want. Once we have applied logistics, which is gonna be a few ages from now, once we get to that point, things will be a lot nicer to be stored in here. We can have a nice big, basically a nice big ME drive base that will give us everything we want, and everything will be good. So wheat, rice, silicon's gonna go in here, as well as we're gonna need to make more tin cables, by the way. This goes in there, this can go in there, this can go in there. Fermenting barrel and canola press will go in there, fluid tank as well. Alright, everything else will, oh, and brewing stand go in there. Alright, so we need to get more power still. Great. What should we do first? Let's go ahead and finish getting IC2 set up. So we're gonna need a little bit more tin for this first thing, and then we're also gonna need some iron wires. So tin. We're going to need great, we're gonna need wires. I should have grabbed that stuff. Dang it. Alright, so what can we do for this? Because we need to set the metal former up, and if we set any kind of power up, he's gonna explode. So we'll just set up where is the metal former? Right there. Alright, so we'll set up the metal former just right here, and we're just gonna set up a solar panel for right now, and that will slowly get power. And then what we can do is extrude piece of tin, and that will take forever, but we'll get there. So while that is doing its thing, let's go ahead and put all of this stuff away. And what we can do, keep that on us. We'll need 2 of those. What else do we need for this? That's pretty much it. Okay. This can go in there, and the wrench for now, and this can go in there for now. So in the meantime, let's go grab our culinary generator, and we'll see if we can't get this Inori crystal empowered. It should be really close. So what we'll do is we're gonna go ahead and break this line, and we're gonna go grab the culinary generator from over here. Now this guy has plenty of power. We need to upgrade him as soon as possible as well, but that's gonna require more capacitors. It's a lot of mess of capacitors, are terrible to make. So let's get this guy. And the main reason I have this, let's actually charge up our drill so I can have that for later. Oh, so that has plenty of power. Okay, let's go ahead and activate that. So it should power up a lot of things, and everything should get power that needs it, and that should be good. So we're still going to get some more power options for us today, but for the most part, I don't really care. So this guy is not getting power, and that generates not very much, but it's enough. Whoops, didn't mean to put that there. Just break it, who cares? Okay, so we need to get better power options for a lot of things, but mostly for RF. Solar panels are something that's going to be really good here because it's eternally day. So these solar panels are terrible, but they're actually not too bad to make. So if we make just a few of them, we should be good to go. So we're going to need a little bit of steel. Do we have any steel over here? No, of course not. We have to run over there. We're going to need some lead. And we're going to make 3 of them because that's the easiest combination of things to do. It requires steel and lead nuggets. Do we not have any steel whatsoever? So please make fast. And like I said, these solar panels are terrible at first. They get decent later on. Solar panel tier 6 generates 2,000 RF per tick. So that's not bad. It's not worth the cost though. Requires miniature sun, which we can't get too easily. It requires Cenarium. Cenarium is a terrible thing to make. It's pretty bad in my opinion. It requires a glowstone ingots. We literally just can't make it. However, we can't even make tier 2 very easily because it requires empowered emerald crystals. Now these aren't bad to get all the recipes for, it's just a lot of power. So that's something we'll have to wait for. And then tier 3 requires weather crystals, which is not terrible other than you need enderman souls and emeralds. The vibrant crystals aren't actually bad. Or the vibrant alloy rather isn't too bad. And then tier 4 requires electric diamonds, which we're not to yet. Because we need a conductor mass, and that requires fire diamonds, which requires an atomic calculator, which requires iridium. So that's going to be a little bit before we can get to that point, but we'll get there. So the reason I turn this off is it kind of fluctuates very randomly. I don't understand why. This still isn't. Ugh. Just take all my food. I don't even care anymore. We have a bunch of rice in here. We're gonna make a bunch of rice bread, which I have to remember. Is it like this? No, that's paper. And something like so. And then this stuff we cook up and we make dough. All right. So, like I said, RF is kind of an issue right now. Let's get some more food. So let's make lead nuggets and steel nuggets. And do we need to use for this, does it specifically have to be blue stained glass? If that's the case, it's not that bad. It looks like it is the case. So we just need blue stained glass, which is just glass around some blue dye, aka lapis. And we should have enough for one recipe of this. We're going to need some stone. That is not a problem whatsoever. And stone slabs. Blue glass. Turned into blue glass, blue stained glass. And I think that's pretty much everything we're going to need, other than we need void crystals. So there is 3 mirrors. Oh, wait, it's only 1 mirror each. Oh, great. So we need more lead. That is actually easier than not. So we'll just grab a block of lead. I have a decent amount of lead ore. Yeah, it's not super plentiful, but we'll need... It's basically an ingot of lead for each thing, so we just need more stained glass, which means we need more glass, which should not be a problem. So, is 8 going to be enough? It should be close if it's not. Are you not done yet? Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's get this cooked up. And it's still working, and... yeah, that gets power, then it gives it to here. I think this can go indefinitely without ever, like, failing the recipe, so to speak. So it's not too much of an issue. It's just kind of annoying. So, let's do that, and there's 16 more. That is enough. We just need a bunch more stone slabs. I think I can handle that. And there's 9 mirrors. Alright, so 9 mirrors with steel nuggets. And we need some redstone and void crystals. Void crystals are really easy to get. Let's just take 2 blocks of coal. We'll throw it right here. And shoot it with a laser. And now we have void crystal blocks and void crystals. Alright, so with that taken care of, I want to make sure I grab that. Alright, with that taken care of, just need a little bit of redstone. And we're going to put void crystal block and most of these back. And we should be able to make some solar panels. There's 3 solar panels. Awesome. So what can we do now? We could put these right here, to be honest. I don't know if these connect to each other. Looks like they do. So that should give this a little bit of trickle power. And that's what's important at this point. So with that taken care of, we need to eat. And what we're going to do is a couple things. So let's see if our wire is done processing. Let's also clear out our inventory just a little bit. And let's see if our 10 wires are done so we can make the first transformer. And yes, perfect. Alright, so we also need the block cutting machine because that is going to make my life a lot easier. So we put that guy down. We'll give him the drill bit, and we need we're going to need a crafting table over there. So let's go ahead and grab one. Actually, 2 wouldn't be a bad idea either. And there we go. Let's go ahead and put the slabs in here. And then what we can do, just put those right there for right now. No, I don't want them to see each other. I hate that. I hate that about these guys. We're going to want a block of iron. This is for something relatively soon. I'll just go ahead and put that in there, and it'll process. It'll take it a minute, but it'll get there. So now 2 tin wires, coil, and some wood gives us an LV transformer. Now I have to remember, I think that is the wrong way. So we need a wrench. We'll just use the electric wrench because why not? So I believe 5 is, I believe it's 5 is the large side. And I believe 5 is the large side, and 1 is the smaller side. So if you want this to be, so it's gonna be output 320 on every side, or is it the other way around? I guess it's the wrong way. It won't matter. These machines just won't get power. So we'll need 1 more of these guys, basic machine casing, and then just 2 copper wires makes the next guy. So something like that. Now what we can do is, if we go ahead and pick, actually let's break this line. And what's a machine that's really easy to make? Compressor is pretty easy. So let's take a look at the compressor. We'll put the compressor down, and if we lose this, it's fine. It's whatever. And then what we can do is, let's also pick this guy up, and we can actually just go ahead and place a CSU. So this output's 128. Sorry about the motorcycle in the background. This input's 128. So if we put this guy right here and output to here, these guys should get power, and this didn't blow up. So I think that's correct. So if we add this line back in, these guys should all get power. And then this guy's probably empty. Yeah, he's essentially empty. So we'll pick him up, and that means good things. So we have the MV transformer, same thing. And then down here we'll have, for right now, we'll have our main power source, which is the MFE. So now that we have all this, we can go ahead and put the thermal centrifuge down. Now I want to make sure that everything will work. Now we're not going to put anything here on like next to the transformers, because that just seems like a bad idea. So I'm going to make sure everything is correct with this stuff before I put the MFE in, but we can now set down all of our machines and go from there. For right now, we can go ahead and put this guy here. He only outputs like 8 EU per tick, so these guys will gain power eventually, or not actually, because he's not doing anything. It's fine. So what I will do is between episodes I will get some more cable and all that kind of fun stuff so that we can just basically get the IC2 area up and running decently well. So are we done yet with that thing? No, of course not. Why would we? So let's see what kind of other things can we get into real quick. So Traveler Sack is something I want to make that requires a tier 3 bag, which is just a bunch of upgrades, which is just a bunch of steel. Alright, so this is something I'm going to work on between episodes, getting basically a tier 3 bag. I want this Traveler Sack. This is a really good item, which allows you to sacks can be filled up with a lot of items. Right-click on a container like a chest or a storage crate will quickly move all the items into the sack, into the chest. They can also automatically suck up items on the ground, and they have filter slots. It's really good. So that's kind of what I want to have. So I'm going to start working on that. Now, the other thing that I want to start working on is we need solar panels. That's going to take forever to get. We need 8 million for each. We're going to need a lot of power. So before we get to that point, I think making the next capacitor. Let's see. Vibrant capacitor bank. This stores 25 million RF, and we're going to make it this direction, this way. We are going to need an emerald. That's annoying, but whatever. We're going to need capacitor banks and double layer capacitors, and basically we're just going to need a ton of capacitors. So I am going to, once this gets done, I'm going to kind of just off camera, as I get more supplies and more stuff and more power mainly, I will occasionally just go ahead and make some capacitors. That'll be something I do between episodes, on and off, just because this is going to take forever to get. Now these also require the solar cell, and this requires octadic capacitors as well. This isn't bad. Clear glass is easy enough. Steel is easy enough. It's just the octadic capacitors are annoying because it requires a lot of capacitors. It requires let's see, 2, 4. It's, yeah, 4 capacitors each. So it's not very fun to do. Now, can we make some more like generators to help this along? We could do just a basic furnace generator. That is easy enough to make. I don't think we have any extra machine blocks, which requires an iron casing and some stone burnt. Alright, so that's not terrible to do. I might look into making one of those. We could also make ender generators, which 64,000 for every ender pearl. That's not bad. So what I was thinking was, if we make a furnace generator, these guys work on burn time basically. It's 10 times the burn time is what you get power wise. Now coal is 16, so that's 16,000 RF for each piece of coal. Now the thing about that is we have wood we can turn into charcoal. That's probably not a good, actually now that I think of it, that's probably not a good trade-off. So is there any other generators that could be really good for us? Potion generators are usually pretty good. the more complex a potion, the better off it is in here. So for example, Lingering Night Vision Potion, it's 120 RF. Yeah, 102 RF. All the Lingering Potions are. This one's 500,000. Because to make this, it is a lot of steps. Because you need a splash potion, and then you make it lingering, and invisibility is it's an extended invisibility, plus it's a corrupted night vision. So it's a lot of steps. The more steps, the better off you are. However, speed potions are really easy. You set up a simple sugarcane farm and a netherwort farm, and there is your speed potions. However, now they require blaze powder, so I don't think that's going to be the good way to go. Undeath generators are good if you have mob farms. Halitosis generators are good if you got a lot of stuff from the dragon. So I think something we might want to look at is an oil generator. So oil generators are actually pretty good. They require 2 iron casings and some reinforced stone and powered crystals, and they run off of canola. You can make better canola oil, so empowered oil is really good in the generator, so that might be an option for us as well. I'll have to kind of look into that, but for now, I really wish this would finish. So let's give it some more bread. And you know what? Let's just grab this guy. And we'll put him right, I don't even know, right here. Break that guy. Always active. Power everything up. It shouldn't take too much to make the Inori crystals. So I don't know why this is taking so long. So I'm going to look into more ways to get RF, and we'll kind of look and see if we can set something up that's kind of simple to just generate enough power to get us by for the time being. This guy is probably almost empty. No, he's doing okay. Alright, so the other thing that we're going to work towards is the Void Ore Miner, which this requires a lot of power, so it's going to be something that once we get it, we're probably not going to use it for a bit. Then the Void Resource Miner. Both of these just require a lot of gold, and lenses, which is just a bunch of clear glass, which is just nether quartz. So nothing too major there. Something I did do while I was at the nether was grab a bunch of ardite and cobalt. So that's good. We have the diamond ore, nether quartz ore. We have everything we need for these guys, other than I don't think we have enough gold. No. Probably pretty close, but come on. Are you done yet? So that's empty. Alright, so I will tell you guys what. I am going to work on this stuff off camera. A lot of stuff to do, but main thing we got today was we did go ahead and set up our IC2 area. Pretty much the only thing we need to do there, I need to just double check that everything is good there with the transformers, and that they're going to work like I think they are. And then I just need to set up the rest of the base area here, and start getting the power generated and not transform, but get all the power generated and put into an MFE and into our machines. So that's pretty much all I have to do with this stuff, just kind of place it out. But this is looking good. This is what I want, and we're gonna want one more transformer eventually, I think. We're gonna want the HV. I don't think we'll ever need the EV, which is the extreme voltage, but the HV transformer, we have an advanced RA battery, gold, and another ME plus a circuit board. So that's pretty easy to set up. I'm gonna get that stuff together between episodes, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know we didn't do all that much, but next time we are going to be working on getting some more stuff. I don't know what yet, but we'll work towards progress. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!